Hey y'all, it's Kendall Antonelli reporting from Austin, Texas, and my husband,
John, what's up, y'all?
You'll get more of that cheese in a little bit. Okay, so this is a video quickly on how to plate your cheeses. Presumably you are watching this because either you have purchased for yourself or somebody has gifted you our cheese class in a box. As far as we know, we're the first in the nation to do this. It was one of our pivots right when the pandemic hit to help us stay relevant, keep our team employed, and keep our business going. So just thank you. Right now, by you eating cheese today, you are helping us live our do good, eat good mission. So yay, I hope you're feeling good already. We're gonna talk about how to plate your cheeses. It doesn't matter what cheeses I have in front of me. What matters is in your box, you got this awesome packet of information. Keep this with you and beside you when we go through our tasting in a little bit because it has some cool stuff in it that we're gonna talk through. But most importantly, all you need right now to plate are these two menus that came in. So one has all the cheeses. This will be the order that we're gonna do our tasting. And the other one has all the pairings, and this will be the order that they will be paired with. So as we go around, we're gonna start by placing our crackers at 12 o'clock, and then we're gonna place each one of these cheeses all the way down this list around our clock. So we like to plate on a round plate. That's what we'll be doing in our video guided tasting later, or if you have a live cheesemonger leading this experience, they'll be setting it up this way. And the whole goal is that if it's just you, if it's friends and family across the United States, that you're all enjoying this experience together. After all, I wish this was called physical distancing and not social distancing. We think it's more important than ever that we're connected. But more on that in cheese later. So I'm looking and I'm gonna plate in what this order says. Each one of your cheeses were labeled. So like I said, starting with your crackers, I usually put that at 12 o'clock. That is just to center us so that when we're going around the tasting, inevitably, Uncle so-and-so is always like, where are we at on the cheese plate? Now you know we're starting with our crackers at 12 o'clock. So at 1 o'clock, I'm gonna put our first type of cheese. When you're plating, the most important thing is that you kind of cut things up or make them shaped differently and make it visually appealing. As we all know, you eat with your eyes first. So as you get creative cutting your cheeses, trying to differentiate what they may look like on the board. If you received our regular cheese in a box packet, all of these portions are meant to be from 1 to 4 people. So it's enough to give each up to 4 people an ounce of cheese. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like. If it's just one of you, hey girl, eat it all. All right, so of course I don't have a knife right in front of me when I need it. This is gonna be like real-time live in the Antonelli household while I get my knife. Okay, so I did one cheese. I'm doing my second cheese. Space them out. You may have up to 7 cheeses that you're gonna do all the way around. Got my third cheese. Those first ones are usually all softer, younger cheeses. So you're gonna dollop that first one, probably it's a fresh category. Do a slice of that brie style cheese. Then as we start getting into our firmer cheeses, I just wanted to show you this piece of cheese is a big chunk like that. I cut it down this way to create this beautiful medallion. That's what I'm putting on my plate. The goal is to make sure that everybody gets equal portions of the rind. Many of the rinds are edible and we're gonna talk about them when we're eating them. So just you don't cut off all the rind immediately so that we'll be able to talk about it later. So I've got cheese number 1, 2, 3, 4, got 5. I pre-cut these all back here so we could get through this for you. 6, and then last but not least, I have a blue cheese here, which always likes to be a little bit tricky as I'm plating it. Oh, I did marvelous. Okay, you know, we gotta celebrate our victories. So I plated the 7 cheeses going down this menu in this order around my clock, which means the last one here is basically at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go back now and do my pairings on top or next to each one of the cheeses. So I will show you how I'm going to do that. Got a jam on this one. Who knows what you get to be tasting, lucky you. But I'm gonna put that right there. Got these little oat cakes that are amazing. So I like to break things up, different textures. We'll talk about how we pair later, but instead of just putting this whole cracker on, I don't think that looks visually appealing. I'm gonna try to kind of crack it in this like triangular wedge shape. So got that on there. If you have any pickled goods, like these amazing balsamic onions I'm holding, instead of one whole bite, go ahead and plate it the way you think you're gonna wanna eat it. So for me, I cut it in half so you can kind of visually see the elements there and it looks really pretty. Got a little caramels on this one, so I'm gonna take it off and just put it right on that cheese. Got some amazing salamis. Fun note on your salami, if you eat meat, you can score it down the side, peel it off, and just peel off this outside. This rind is edible. We'll talk about that later, but if you don't want it for the purposes of this, you can go ahead and peel it off. And I like to cut mine in medallions. So I've got my 3 little medallions here on the board. And then our little nut mixture. Instead of just putting nuts flat on it, I like to crack them or break them in half depending on the nut. Again, just different textures. And then last but not least, chocolate. A couple of these came in there. Again, I'm gonna crack it. Also, it releases the aroma. We'll talk about that later. So voila, let me show you what it looks like. But as you can see, we've just magically made this whole board. I'm gonna turn it around for you. So starting at 12 o'clock, I have this, and then moving around, I have my first cheese in pairing, second cheese in pairing, third cheese going all the way around, and that's how we'll be tasting it in a little bit. Other things you might want to get ready. I always like having a sparkling water out, so whether it's Rambler made here in Austin, Topo Chico, whatever your sparkling water is of choice, or just a water, you'll want that in our tasting. And then if you drink alcoholic beverages, white wines will always be good for the beginning half, and then you can move into reds on the later ones, or likewise on the beer. And if you do like to drink, there are wine and beer pairing guides on the back of your menu. So with that, I am excited to see you in a little bit. I think the only other tip is ideally you've done this about an hour before we eat it, because it should all be room temperature. It's gonna taste that much better. So look forward to seeing you in a little bit, y'all. Stay cheesy.